Sometimes we have these amazing quotes that inspire us to live a better life every day or even our business. And we really want to create these stunning graphics to share this quote with the world and empower a lot more people. So today is Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. And I started with one of Adobe Spark's remixable templates for quotes that he had used or different designs, which are really great. You want to make sure you tap the information below to access these remixable templates and look at the blog. And what I'm sharing with you is the end result of what I designed starting from that template. So let me show you what the template looked like originally. So it's a beautiful template and it's got this iconic raised fist behind for solidarity and support. And it says, thank you, Martin Luther King Jr. So I started with that and I love the icon on the background and I really wanted to take it to a typographic level using Adobe Spark Post. And what I came up with was this. So it did take me a little bit of time, so I'm backtracking a little bit and give you guys the insights and ins and outs of what I did to create this so you can create your own. Now I'm going to take you back to a few revisions behind so we can kind of go through the process. Now, what I ended up doing is that this is going to change for whatever icon or graphic you use in the background. And since I'm using the raised fist, it actually worked perfectly with this beautiful quote that I love that it says, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." So as I was laying out the type, I made sure that I was consistent with the way that we read from left to right so that I didn't have any type that was kind of out of placement that really kind of took out the meaning of the words or the reading flow. So for some individual areas, I actually created individual type that I added. And it worked magically to where love fit within the fist. And then I started putting and I started breaking up the type and the content that way so that it would fit within the actual fist itself. Now, here's a nice little trick that depending on what icon you're using, you can sometimes add little elements to enforce the reading flow. What I did here is that I actually added a little line, as you can see, I'm kind of pulling it, to help break up the way that force was reading. I didn't want to have some clashing as far as where your eye flow would go. So by adding this little line, it actually looks like I'm creating another line within the hand as the way the crease is going, but I'm also helping force the eye and the reading flow. That way people knew how to kind of read the quote. Now I kind of broke up some of the wording here so that I could fit capable within this nice flow and get really creative so you guys can see how creative you can get with Adobe Spark Post, which is super exciting. Then I took some letter forms out here and I placed that in. So I have some type here on the side that I kind of wanted just to share with you kind of how I arranged it. You can kind of go in and rotate it as it fits within the content. Then you can kind of nudge it. If you want to get a little more precision, you can tap on nudge and be able to edit each individual little section in an easier flow. And then, there's going to be areas where the type might not fit precisely, but make it as best as you can. It's okay if it doesn't. It's just the intention of being able to share this really beautiful quote from someone that has inspired an entire nation in the world. So I am just kind of working on arranging some of the type. I'm bringing it up a little bit more. And you can kind of get the idea. This takes a little bit of time, but you end up with a beautiful result. One of the other things that I did is I added this nice little icon of a simple heart to make it smaller, as it's like, it's coming, the raising fist is actually just empowering and also, giving us solidarity and support for people. And, I wanted it to be small and not take away so much from the actual imagery or the actual, design itself. And so I made it smaller, but right there, intentional and purposeful. Now, one of the really great things that you can do is you can actually go in and add an icon that is a texture. So you can actually go in and search texture. There's some really beautiful textures that you can add. I want one that's not going to be too obtrusive and just take away from the actual design. So once I select it, it just populates it in here and I can make it larger. And this one has a little bit too much going on. I want to have it at this color so I can reduce the opacity. So it goes more towards the back. And there you have it. I have this beautiful graphic that I can now share on social media and really celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King and all that he's done for us, and just really empower other people to really just spread more love in this world. I hope this IGTV tutorial inspired you and really showed you the capabilities of Adobe Spark Post and getting super creative. This is Nicte Cuevas with Nicte Creative Design. I will see you next week.